I hate that I'm making her doubt me. I tell myself it's worth it, that all this secrecy, all this stress will disappear the moment she sees what I've been working on. The ring, the rooftop, the speech I've rehearsed 100 times in my head. Hi, I'm Amy. I've always been the organized one. My calendar's color-coded, my closet arranged by season and shade, and my bills paid before they're due. That's just who I am, meticulous, maybe overly so. When I met Randy 2 years ago, his easygoing, spontaneous energy felt like the perfect counterbalance. We fit together like two puzzle pieces, different enough to be interesting, but snug enough to make sense. At least, that's what I thought. Now I'm staring at his shirt, a crisp, white button-up I folded just last week. There it is again. That smell. Not mine. Definitely not his. It's subtle, floral, and way too feminine to be random. I sniff the sleeve again, my stomach twisting. It reminds me of gardenias or jasmine. I'm no expert, but I know one thing. I don't wear it, and it's not cologne. It started small. A couple of missed calls here and there. Nothing unusual at first. But then came the vague texts. Work ran late. Grabbing a drink with the guys, and once, don't wait up. Not the kind of things he used to say. Not the kind of things that sit well with me. Randy isn't the type to obsess over his phone, but lately, it's been glued to him like a lifeline. He tilts the screen away when I walk by, or pockets it mid-scroll. Little things, maybe, but enough to light a flicker of doubt. And that flicker has grown. The perfume is the third strike. The first was the late nights. The second, his shoes. I spotted a scuff on his polished loafers last week, the kind you'd get from uneven pavement. Funny, considering his work drinks are at a bar with pristine floors. I sit on the edge of the bed, the shirt in my lap. My mind races. Am I paranoid? Overthinking? I pride myself on being rational. But what if this isn't paranoia? What if this is intuition? I can hear Randy's voice in my head. Amy, you're making a big deal out of nothing. That's exactly what He'd say if I asked him. I can practically see the way He'd laugh it off, his blue eyes crinkling in mock disbelief. The thought of confronting him sends my heart pounding. What if I'm wrong? What if I accuse him of something he hasn't done? It'd look like the crazy, insecure girlfriend, and the trust we've built would be cracked forever. But the alternative, doing nothing, feels worse. I glance at my phone. It's unlocked, and Randy's name is at the top of my text thread. One tap, and I could ask. Just a simple, "Hey, who've you been hanging out with lately?" Casual, innocent. But my finger hovers over the screen, frozen. I can't do it. Not yet, anyway. Instead, I toss the shirt into the laundry basket and take a deep breath. If he's hiding something, I'll find out. Not by asking questions he can dodge, but by following the trail he doesn't know he's leaving. I'm not proud of what I'm about to do, but I can't shake the feeling that I need to protect myself. To know for sure, one way or the other. The next day, Randy is unusually cheerful. He kisses me on the cheek before work, leaving the faintest trace of coffee and toothpaste on my skin. "You okay, babe?" he asks, noticing my furrowed brow. "Yeah," I lie. "Just tired." As soon as he's gone, I go to work. It starts small, checking his side of the closet for anything out of the ordinary. I find nothing. No lipstick smudges, no receipts, no hidden surprises. His gym bag is next. Towels, sneakers, deodorant. All standard. Then, his laptop. It feels wrong even touching it, but my hands move anyway. The screen comes to life, and am greeted by the familiar desktop wallpaper of a sunset we'd watched together on vacation. My stomach knots. It was such a happy moment. Was it real? Or was it just another part of some facade? I check his browser history, work emails, news articles, a YouTube video about repairing a leaking faucet. My heart steadies slightly. Maybe I am being crazy. Maybe I've let my imagination run wild. But then I spot it. A search for rooftop venues near me. For a moment, I feel like I've been punched in the chest. Rooftop venues? Is that where he's been spending his late nights? The image of Randy sitting under twinkling fairy lights with someone else flashes in my mind, and I feel sick. But I push the thought away. I need more. The next week is torture. Randy is as warm and affectionate as ever, but every smile feels laced with suspicion. Every laugh sounds hollow. I start noticing things I might have missed before. The way he hesitates before answering certain questions. The moments when he zones out, like he's mentally somewhere else. By Friday, I can't take it anymore. I decide to follow him. It's a gray, drizzly evening when I slip into my car and park a block away from his office. My pulse pounds as I watch him exit the building. He doesn't head to the parking lot. Instead, he walks down the street, umbrella in hand, and turns the corner. I trail him at a safe distance, my heart racing. He stops outside a boutique. Through the glass, I see him talking to a woman. My chest tightens. She's smiling, handing him something small and shiny. He thanks her and slips whatever it is into his pocket. I feel the sting of tears. This is it. This is the proof I needed. But I don't confront him. Not yet. I retreat to my car and drive home, my mind spinning. When he walks through the door later, he's all smiles. Hey, babe. Miss me? I force a smile. Always. That night, I can't sleep. The scent of gardenias lingers in my mind, mixing with the memory of that woman's smile. My emotions swing wildly, anger, betrayal, fear. But beneath it all is a sliver of hope. A tiny, desperate voice that says, maybe it's not what you think. The next day, Randy is out running errands. I sit on the couch, staring at the box he left on the kitchen counter. It's addressed to him, the return label from a jeweler. My hands shake as I open it. Inside is a ring. A breathtaking, sparkling diamond ring. Tears blur my vision. It all clicks. The late nights, the secrecy, the rooftop searches. He wasn't hiding another woman. He was planning a proposal. Guilt crashes over me like a tidal wave. How could I have doubted him? How could I have let my insecurities twist every little thing into something sinister? When Randy comes home that evening, I run to him and throw my arms around his neck. I'm sorry, I whisper, my voice cracking. For what? He asks, laughing lightly as he hugs me back. For everything. I don't tell him what I found. I don't ruin his surprise. Instead, I decide to let him lead, to let him reveal his plans in his own time. Because if I've learned anything from this, it's that trust isn't about never having doubts. It's about choosing to believe in the person you love, even when your fears whisper otherwise. The days that follow are some of the happiest of my life. When Randy finally gets down on one knee on a rooftop bathed in soft golden light, I cry tears of pure joy. And as he slips the ring onto my finger, I silently promise to never let my doubts overshadow the love we share again. The first step, tracking his routine. His stories don't always add up, but if I pay attention, the pieces will start to fit. Late nights, scuffed shoes, floral perfume. It's a puzzle, and I'm going to solve it. I pick up my notebook. Yes, I still use a physical one and flip to a blank page. Date, time, details. My meticulousness has always been my strength, and now it's my weapon. As I jot down the first entry, Friday late night, work drinks, strong floral scent, I tell myself this isn't betrayal, it's self-preservation. Because if there's one thing I can't stand, it's being blindsided. Hi, I'm Randy. Amy thinks I'm oblivious, that I don't notice the way she's been watching me, her eyes narrowing slightly when I'm on my phone, or when I walk through the door later than usual. But I notice. Amy's not the type to let things slide. She's methodical, sharp as hell. It's one of the reasons I fell for her. We've been together 2 years, and honestly, she's amazing. Smart, driven, always one step ahead. But lately, there's been this odd gap between us. Not big enough to break us, but enough for me to feel it. I tell her it's work, which isn't a lie. Being a software engineer isn't all beanbag chairs and catered lunches. It's late nights, buggy code, and deadlines that feel like nooses. When I say I've been swamped, I mean it. But there's more to it, and that's where it gets tricky. The truth? I've been keeping something from her. Take last Friday. I told Amy I was stuck at the office debugging some nightmare of a project. Technically, I was. But I also left early, not to meet some random woman, or whatever she's probably imagining, but to handle something I can't explain yet. Amy's not a suspicious person by nature, but she's nobody's fool. She's sharp enough to notice when something's off, and lately I've been about as subtle as a flashing neon sign. The phone calls, the late nights, the occasional rushed explanation. Yeah, I can see how it looks. What really got me, though, was the floral scent. I don't even remember where it came from. Probably a handshake with a colleague or brushing past someone at the coffee shop. But when I walked in that night, Amy froze. Her nostrils flared just slightly before she buried her face back in her notebook, pretending not to notice. But I noticed. I notice everything. It's not that I'm trying to hide anything. Well, I am, but not what she's thinking. There's no secret affair, no clandestine meetings with some mystery woman. If only it were that simple. No, what I'm hiding is something much harder to explain, something that feels bigger than me. See, Amy's not just smart, she's intuitive. She has this uncanny ability to read between the lines, to connect dots that most people don't even see. And right now, those dots are painting a picture that isn't even close to the truth. The problem is, I'm not ready to tell her what's really going on. Not yet. I need more time to pull everything together, to make sure every piece is perfect before I reveal what I've been working on. Because if I get this wrong, let's just say, I don't want to get this wrong. Amy's perspective. It's been 3 weeks since I started keeping track, and the notebook is filling up fast. Late nights, vague excuses, mysterious charges on his credit card. None of it adds up. Randy's always been the kind of guy who wears his heart on his sleeve, but lately, he's been harder to read. It's like he's carrying some secret, something heavy, and I can't help but wonder if I'm part of it, or if I'm the reason for it. I try not to let my mind wander to the worst-case scenario, but it's hard. My best friend, Carly, keeps telling me I'm overthinking it. Men are simple, she says, laughing over her glass of wine. If he were cheating, you'd know. They always slip up. But Randy's not like most men. He's careful, thoughtful. If he were hiding something, he'd be damn good at it. And that's what scares me. The floral perfume was the last straw. I told myself it was nothing, that I was being paranoid, but the scent lingered long after he'd gone to bed. It wasn't just any perfume. It was the kind you notice, the kind that sticks to your clothes and your skin, like a ghost of wherever you've been. I didn't confront him that night. I wanted to, but something held me back. Maybe it was fear, or maybe it was hope. Hope that there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of this, one that doesn't end with me crying on the bathroom floor. Randy's perspective. She knows something's up. I can feel it in the way she looks at me, the way her questions have shifted from casual curiosity to something sharper. She's always been direct, but lately, her questions feel like tests. How was work? Means, where were you? Did you eat? Means, who were you with? I hate lying to her. I hate the way it makes me feel, like I'm betraying her trust, even though I know I'm not. This isn't about mistrust or infidelity. This is about timing. I glance at the calendar on my phone, counting down the days. If I can just hold out a little longer, everything will make sense. She'll see why I've been acting so strange, why I've been keeping this secret. And hopefully she'll forgive me for making her doubt me. Amy's perspective. The notebook is almost full now, and the pattern is clear. Late nights, secretive phone calls, unexplained charges. It all points to something I can't ignore anymore. I've thought about confronting him, really confronting him, not just throwing out casual questions and hoping he slips up. But every time I work up the nerve, something stops me. Maybe it's the look in his eyes when he thinks I'm not watching, the way he still kisses me goodbye every morning like he means it. Or maybe it's the fear that once I ask the question, there's no going back. Randy's perspective. The big day is almost here. I've double-checked everything, made sure every detail is perfect. The ring is in my pocket, the reservations are set, and the plan is in motion. I've been dreaming about this moment for weeks, no, months. And now that it's finally here, I feel like I'm about to burst. The only thing left to do is get through tonight without giving anything away. One more late night, one more vague excuse. Just a little longer, and then the truth will be out. Amy's perspective. Tonight's the night. I can feel it in my gut. Whatever Randy's been hiding, whatever secret he's been keeping, it's all coming to a head. I slip my notebook into my bag, along with a pen and my phone. If this is the night everything falls apart, I want to be ready. Randy's perspective. She's quiet tonight, quieter than usual. I can tell she's waiting for something, but I don't know what. As we sit across from each other at the restaurant, the tension is almost palpable. I reach into my pocket, fingers brushing against the small velvet box, and take a deep breath. This is it. The moment of truth. Amy's perspective. He's nervous. I can see it in the way his hands fidget with his fork, the way he keeps glancing at me like he's trying to gauge my mood. And then, just as I'm about to ask the question that's been burning a hole in my chest for weeks, he stands up. Randy's perspective. I drop to one knee, holding out the ring. Amy, I say, my voice shaking. I've been acting strange, and I know I've made you doubt me. But it's only because I wanted this moment to be perfect. Will you marry me? Amy's perspective. For a moment, I can't breathe. All the suspicion, All the doubt, it melts away in an instant. Yes, I whisper, tears streaming down my face. 1,000 times yes.